I'd written a speech which is exactly like Per's speech, so I throw it away and start from scratch. Because what I would like to say is that Europe did a lot for us, but people is not aware of this, not the common people, which are the people we should care for. So when we are talking about a new narrative, which is a word I hate, we should think where this narrative is happening. Therefore, we should look a little bit at what is happening in terms of technological progress, which gurus and the Apple people sells us like something amazing which is happening right now, and it is not. Because we are living a moment, an era, in which progress is more quantitative than qualitative. What's it? Because we have access to more, but it is not necessarily access to what's best. We have more music, more phones, but still after 20 years, my cell phone is much worse than my home phone, and nobody is trying to make it better because it needs investment. They don't want to invest in this. And we have more movies, more information, but are we sure that the information we get on the internet every day is a better information? Try to Google the name of somebody you're looking for and you do not know. You will get 15 times the same thing until you find my blog. Just kidding. So, first thing, we should consider that we are living a quantitative evolution rather than a qualitative evolution. And what we need is quality. And we shall look for quality in every single minute of our life. Look for added value, not just accept what they offer us, pretending it is amazing, and it is not. Once we have assessed this, we should think, who's communicating Europe? And the answer is nobody or the wrong subject. The main communicator in the European Union is the European Commission. As I'm sure you're aware, the European Commission is a technical body. The European Commission is supposed to be writing the laws, the draft laws, that member states ask the Commission to write. And then she's supposed to be controlling and monitoring that member states do what they engaged themselves to do. So she is both the legislative office, the legislative bureau of the European Union, and the watcher, the guardian. But I don't know why, since the 60s, maybe Per, no, he was already there, but in the 60s, the Commission started holding daily midday briefings, which transformed its technical role into a political role, because once you have communication, you have the power. Remember, when there is a coup d'etat, the first thing they get is the radio station and the TV station, so you can say, yes, I am the better leader. So the moment the European Commission gets the communication, there she becomes political. And there starts the problem. Because who is she communicating for? What can the European Commission communicate? Since they are supposed to be technocrats or former politicians which have abandoned their national roots in order to have a more European point of view, they should be talking about their business, but then they do politics. But while they do politics, they try not to speak and say something that could harm their relation with the member states. They do not want to disturb the member states, and they never do, unless they fail their mission. So, at the end, this is an empty box. Sometimes it's a very empty rule, because they just say a lot of things. They work a lot. They send a lot of press releases, which are totally useless to a journalist who's looking for added value. So maybe, and maybe the council should be communicating, but I don't see the council communicating, because then it would be really forced to be speaking on behalf of the governments, which they cannot do. I would like to see the European Parliament more active, but 90% it's propaganda. And most of the MEPs send press releases, which are normally intended to show the Italian public, in case of Italian MEP, or the Cypriot public, that they are in Brussels and they are thinking of Italy. So there is no such a thing as a European message in the MEPs. So nobody is really communicating, save the Commission, which shouldn't be communicating. So what are we supposed to be communicating? The first thing I'm expecting Europe to communicate is the things that Europe delivers. Because we can talk about how poor is the result of the European image among the voters. But if the European Union does not deliver, it will get worse and worse and worse every year. It's been 2 years since we are talking about growth, but nothing really happened. We have plans, a youth guarantee scheme. You remember the youth guarantee scheme? I mean, 6.4 billion euros. And after 1 year, 1 year and a half, only 25% of it is for now. It's 800 million euros have been spent, 25% of which have been spent from Italians and French. What are the others doing? They are talking. So communication should happen via deliverance. They should deliver. And they should communicate about this and should try to get down to the common people and tell them this is what we do. But do you think the system, all the people, they do really want to have a change in the communication? Probably we do. We are having these days of debate because we know that there's a lack of communication, and Europe is not well communicated, and that's because of the lack of communication that Europe is going pretty bad in the polls. But do you think the politicians really want to change their attitude towards communication? I do not think so. Because they have a very short-termism. They are practicing a short-termism in their points of view. They want to have things now. And it's very easy to put the blame on Europe and to say, yes, we've got to increase the retirement age because Europe asks us. So Europe is rather something that they use for their own goods. You might have heard this before, but in Italy, which is supposed to be my country, the European Union is considered like La Madonna, the Holy Mary. She's I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. Okay. You worship the Holy Mary on Sundays. You forget about the Holy Mary during the week, and you call for her when there's a crisis, whatever the crisis is. And same is Europe. I mean, you come to European summits and said, yes, we've been Europeists since Spinelli. And then over the week, you swear Europe, and then there's a crisis, 2 days of rain, Genoa goes underwater, and then the MEPs send a communique saying, Europe should do something. You are the Europe, you do something, asshole. But there's something for ourselves. Do you think that journalists want a different communication? I see an increasing bunch of journocrats appearing in the press rooms. They are journocrats who are forced to be journocrats or choose to be journocrats. They are forced to be journocrats because there is always less people working in newspapers. You have very unstable and unbalanced contracts, so you got to work a lot. So for you, it's very easy to pick up the European Commission press release, paste and copy, send it to 6 newspapers, and earn 22 euros. So they are forced to do this. Or then there are those who think that being a journocrat, just doing what the Commission says, the Member State says, the European Union says, the MEPs say, then will help you to be a career. So you become a slave journocrat. So I see less and less people looking for added value around. And that leads us to the last questions. The last question is, so what shall we change? I had a real speech, you see. First of all, quality, not quantity. Quality in our demand for information, quality in the supply for information. And beware of quantity, whatever it is. Second thing, I would like to see the institution tell the truth as much as possible, even if this is against their DNA. And the the Barroso Commission didn't do it. I saw them. You remember the German Commissioner Verheugen? He was pictured with his chef de cabinet, both naked, on a Baltic beach, walking hand in hand with a baseball hat. I didn't say where the baseball hat was, and the European Commission said it was a business meeting. And what's worse, they said it even off the record. They lost 22 points of credibility. And you think that the Juncker Commission is going to do the same? You remember what happened? When was that? I've forgotten. Tuesday, last week, the Bratusek affair. And until 2 minutes before Bratusek resigned, they said, she's perfect, she's going to stay. Now, I understand their narrative, but if you're going to be proved wrong in 2 minutes, you better tell the truth or shut up. So tell the truth, always tell the truth, as long as it's possible, and get closer to the people. He mentioned a foreign minister. I will mention The Verve. There's a song sung by William Shatner, who was the former Tiberius G. Kirk on the Enterprise in Star Trek, which says, get close to the common people, talk to the common people, act like the common people, sleep with the common people, and you learn what common people want. This is what the European Union must do. And then go back to the basics. Try to tell this youngster, which has spent all the time on the internet, that this is not granted. What we have now, and he was right in saying that we've been the luckiest generation, possibly in history, as far as we know. But this is not going to last if we do not work giving added value to Europe. So medias I would work more on voice, I would work more on TV, but not doing this very, very, very beautiful, what's the name? EuTube or EuroPal TV. Nobody watches EuroPal TV. Let's be frank. Is there any of you watching EuroPal TV? Raises his hands, please. I want to see your face. And nobody, he doesn't know EuroPal TV. And he was in journalism before I was born. So nobody knows. I know it because I've been in Brussels 8 years, so you must know it. But nobody watches. So let's do a proper television in which just like Arte. Do something nice, show movies, show things, not just the MEP saying, yes, I'm here in Europe, I'm doing a lot of things for my constituents. That was Boris Johnson, actually. But again, nothing will happen if Europe does not deliver. Deliver, deliver, deliver. Tell the truth and deliver. So, how to sum it up? They told me at school what Marshall McLuhan said. He says that the media the medium is the message. Now we should consider that the message is the medium. If we haven't got a good message close to the people, written by people who talk to the people and sleep with the people, we will go nowhere. And I'm worried about this because with the new things, I still got 14 years before I retire. So we better do our job very well from now on. If you don't want to do it for yourself, do it for me. Thank you.